Hikaru Shida etched her name into history and booked a week with her second AEW World Championship win, joining only Toni Storm as the records to achieve that feat. And she wasted little time establishing her second reign with a match against Anna Jay. And there was also lots on the card, it's featuring the latest MJF and Adam Cole drama. But we started things off with a JAS Society mandatory meeting. Wednesday's show kicked off with this and ended poorly for Chris Jericho as Garcia, Hager, Meadow, Jay, Corhan Dance, Dudley Magic, and Sammy Guevara walked out and spelling into one of the longest factions in AEW. It's a short, succinct promo segment that did not overstay its welcome and provided the undeserved members of the faction with the opportunity to express themselves on the mic. Parker and Manai shine bright as till some genuinely emotional stuff. They accomplished as much the creative direction since the start of the Jericho Callis angle to this point. Guevara was the star, though, finally standing up to the man he'd been since day one of AEW, and that he might be solid without Jericho. And yeah, after the break, Jericho told Callis he had an answer from him and he will announce about joining the group next week. But I feel like this kind of needs to happen, and it happened in the perfect way. And yeah, I can't wait to see what they can do in the end. And their own kind of a concern for a few members, they'll be alright, but I think the likes of Guevara may well thrive without him. But yeah, I think maybe something needs to happen, and I'm intrigued to see where it all goes. It was then time for the Hardys versus the Young Bucks. Two of the defining teams of their era battled in the first match. Matt and Nick Jackson controlled the pace, but Matt and Jeff fought their way back into the bout with an explosive comeback and looked like they may pull off the upset. However, the Bucks fended off the onslaught and scored them with the BTE trigger to Matt, but it was a post-match confrontation with FTR, and the acceptance of their challenge for a match at All In was the biggest takeaway. The match, arguably one of the most anticipated in all of AEW, strengthens the card and gives the fans the latest chapter in the rivalry that's been red hot. And yeah, it's going to be a match of the year candidate, that's for sure. But yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Saying like that, obviously the main point of this, but at the same time, to see two legendary teams in the win like that, it's always a pleasure, no matter the stage of career, especially the Hardys are in. But yeah, this is great stuff still, and set out the match that I'm really hyped for at All In. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Before it's then time for Jack Perry versus Rob Van Dam for the FTW Championship. Despite not regularly competing at this point, the 52-year-old looks solid here in the match. It's perfectly timed, constructed not to expose any weaknesses. Van Dam still possesses incredible athleticism for his age, but this was a Perry show. He's a young performer embracing the role of a heel, and the 26-year-old was great here. The crowd reacted exactly as he wanted, and the result was one of the performances that we'll look back on as a defining moment, I think. It gets 6 out of 10. Obviously, we could have got a bit more here, but I think, yeah, for what it was, their first match in AEW for Rob Van Dam, Perry still establishing his role as a heel. I think it all worked really nicely here and was a solid debut. So yeah, it gets 6 out of 10 for me, and I still think, yeah, it has plenty of room to grow in everyone in AEW. Before it's time for MJF and Adam Cole, and after pelting hits with dodgeballs early in the night, MJF and Cole hit the ring. Cole shut down MJF in this and pitched an idea for the RH World Tag Team Championships against Aussie Open at All In 0 Hour. MJF accepts the challenges and the People's Scumbag in the name of the cheap pot. Strong fed up with fighting Ren's attention, sided with the Kingdom Cole reaction, and this created tension with MJF, but the two hugged out to close the segment. It's going to be difficult to turn MJF totally heel, no matter how much he may try after the inevitable split between him and Cole, assuming of course this direction is heading. Could also prove the opposite, with Cole stalking his partner into a match to turn on him. The crowd on Wembley will explain either way, heartbroken or buoyant, a great storyline as this team continues. But yeah, this is an extra layer, and I'm still undecided which way it's going to go, but I think either way at All In it's going to be very intriguing. And yeah, for sure this is going to add more intrigue to the main event, no matter what the result is going to be in that match against Aussie Open, which is going to be great as well. It was then time for the Lucha Bros against the BCC. The BCC continued their revenge tour following the loss to the Elite of the Blood and Guts, following a dominant victory over the Park Knock Brawl over Best Friends, with Moxley and Carlos win over the Lucha Bros. A good physical match. It saw the heels use punishing strikes to cancel the speed and agility of the opponents. Then when they needed it, they reversed to demasking Penta to get the win. Moxley and Claudio are more intense and physical than ever, which is quite the same considering their previous work, and it will go interesting to see their story going ahead of All In, who sets up to them, and what match awaits them on the Wembley card. But yeah, this was very good. Gets a 7 out of 10 from me. The Blackpool Combat Club, loving the heel roles they play at the moment. Fits so nicely into their character. And yeah, I thought Lucha Bros here as well. They were always going to create a great match. So yeah, on the whole, this was good stuff. But anyway, a week ago, the cameras followed Swerve Strickland and AR Fox to the Buddy Wayne Wrestling Academy, where they attacked Nick Wayne and left him bloodied. Wednesday, Darby Allin sought to avenge his 18-year-old protege and did so with little help from his friends. Sting blasted Strickland and from the rest of the Mogul MC, all while Fox watched in on disbelief, seemingly understanding he may have chosen the wrong side in this battle. This was a solid follow-up to what we saw last week, and a logical progression to a feud that will likely continue on Friday's Rampage when Allen battles the Mogul Embassy's resident machine, Brian Cage. So yeah, that all fits in nicely here. And yeah, liking the stuff they're doing with Wayne at the moment, I have to say. So yeah, this was really, really good stuff. And yeah, very intrigued to see where it's all going. But it's then time for our main event, which was for the Women's World Championship match. Hikaru Shida against Anna Jay. Shida cashed her ticket to All In and the newly announced 4-way match with a win over Anna Jay. The match was solid enough, but it was the commercial weight kind of right in the heart of it that hurt it. Both women worked hard on the commentary does John Joe putting over the champion in particular, but the finish was awkward and left even when Explander searching for an explanation to what Parker and Menard were attempting to do in the deciding pin. Shida now heads to London, where she will defend the women's title against Toni Storm and 2 other women to be decided in upcoming qualifiers. Those matches include Saraya on Rampage and Baker feed forward on next week's Dynamite. But yeah, it gets 6 out of 10 for me. I don't know, it was a solid match. Was it main event worthy? I'm not too sure. But you know, for Shida's title reign, kickstarts in the right way of retention. Let's say that 6 out of 10. And yeah, overall this week Dynamite gets 7 out of 10 for me. Yeah, maybe I'm not too sure if the main event should have been the main event, but on the whole, I thought it was a really good episode of Dynamite this week. There's lots of good quality match action throughout. And yeah, the hype for All In been a bit of a slow build, but yeah, I am starting to get really hyped for the event now. 7 out of 10 for me. Yeah, I have to say, I'm very much looking forward to it. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks very much for watching. Like, subscribe, next week's daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. It's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.